statement, and then we'll open up to questions, first for the players and then coach.
Yeah, that's a really good win for our basketball team. And we knew that we needed to play better against Vanderbilt than the first time we played them. And that's been our focus. Vanderbilt, they are playing some good basketball right now, and we knew that we could have some struggles matching up with them. But just second half performance that we had, especially the third quarter defense, really was the difference in the game. And proud of our team, proud of the focus and the fight that they had for 40 minutes.
Go ahead and start with questions for student athletes, and we'll begin with Maria and then Cora.
Jordan, I was just talking to Coach A. Ralph about how you were basically the architect of that third quarter turnaround. I think there's one series, you had one timeout, you hit the free throw, you go down to the other end, draw a charge, and one to Jillian, she finishes it, then you block a three and find Tess at the other end, and boom, you're up 20 points. Just walk me through that process and what you were doing to just totally flip the script.
No, that was just fun. It was just fun. I was just letting the game, just letting my defense, dictate how, everything else was going to go. And I feel like it's a lot more fun playing that way. I mean, what do you think? Like, it's a lot more fun when we let our defense just, energize us and motivate us to, get easy points in transition and just take them out of the rhythm. I feel like we said, we came out with a chip on our shoulder in that third quarter, we locked in.
Go next to Cora, Casey, and then Caleb.
Jordan, the data shows that your efficiency in shooting goes up when you have 4 more assists. Could you kind of give us some insight on the back end of when you're in a kind of aggressive playmaking mode, I guess, how does that kind of impact your scoring, your approach to the offense?
I just feel like for me, what I've been doing recently is just, just like I said, just letting the game come to me. Just finding, where I can be productive. I mean, I can do a lot of things on the floor. I don't always just have to, put the ball in the basket, but I can, crash hard. Or if I'm running and I'm sprinting down the court, they're worried about that. Tess is wide open for threes. Just the little things like that. Just I have to, focus in on. And then when it's time, I'll find my shots in rhythm. But I just feel like, just staying in the system and, getting shots up consistently and just, just buying into, the goal and the plan and just going hard. And I feel like that's what helps me. And I feel like I said, just doing the little things, let my defense spark my offense. So,
Casey.
For both Tess and Jordan, I know Coach had mentioned earlier in the week how everyone has a story that relates to being impacted by breast cancer, whether it's a friend, family member. I was just wondering if either of you have a personal connection to this game, with it being the annual pink game.
Yeah, I actually do. I have a really good, close family friend that was affected by breast cancer. So just getting out and having a game that everyone wants to make a change and find a cure for this. It's really, really special, and I'm very fortunate that all the teams and schools got to participate in that today.
Caleb. Or excuse me, Ryan.
Jordan, I'm sure by the end of the week that you're pretty ready to get back out on the court and play, but how helpful was it to have that week off after a pretty grueling double overtime loss?
I don't know, it was a great thing. I mean, we got a chance to just sit back and focus on us, focus on what we really need to, lock in on and just dial in for those practices. I mean, it wasn't easy. we got after it, but I mean, it's what we needed, and I'm very thankful for that. I feel like we got better, and we're only going to keep getting better from there. So,
Maria, Cora.
Jordan, you hurt that shoulder, obviously, against Mississippi State. How did you rehab? What kind of effort did you put in to get yourself back and ready for this game?
Just staying in the training room, waking up early, leaving late, icing, listening to my body. But, I'm a fighter. I'm not going to let anything hold me back. So I'm determined. I wasn't going to let that set me back.
Cora.
Jordan, you and Rakia seem to be really on the same page today. I know, sometimes fouls limited, you guys are playing together, but what was working well for you, and why do you feel like you two kind of really, we're on the same page today?
I just feel like we was just playing what they was giving us. They was playing 2-3, and they only had one true post player, so it was we had a 2-set. So when she's on the baseline, I know that they can't stop her. So I just throw a no look or something like that. Or if I'm in transition, we're just working off each other. And I feel like we did that pretty well.
Casey, Maria, and then Zach.
Vandy wasn't getting anything, it seemed like, in the paint. I mean, they only finished with 12 points in the paint, especially off of second chance points, they finished with 0. What were you guys seeing that you were able to kind of keep them out and force them to play on the perimeter?
Keep them out the paint. That's been our biggest goal. Just whatever you got to do, keep them out the paint. And then make sure you finish with a box out, of course. But, you know, just not fouling. I feel like we cut back on that in the second half and just locking in and just guarding your man and not letting him get to the paint.
Maria?
Just, the first half was probably rough on both teams. There were 25 total foul calls in 20 minutes of play, which disrupts anybody trying to get into a rhythm. But halftime tied up. Was halftime pleasant with Kellie this game, or were there maybe a little more suggestions of how to start the third quarter?
You know, she was honest with us. She told us what we needed to do and what we needed to change. The coaches really all challenged us the whole game, but just getting in the locker room, everyone, and we were all like, okay, this is what we have to do. These are our goals, and in order for us to achieve those goals, we have to go out there and play. So, you know, just knowing what we needed to do better, and I think that's how the second half worked out so well for us.
Kind of going off that, you know, 3 starters out with foul trouble there in the first half. Was there any kind of extra fire getting out there in the third quarter? It was pretty evident watching you guys.
I mean, yeah, of course you want to be out there playing, but just playing smart, getting out there, just not fouling. Just playing smart, like I said. But of course, I mean, you want to be out there, you want to produce, you want to help your teammates, of course. But if you're not in there, then you got to just do that from the bench. So.
Cora?
Jordan Walker had 8 assists today.
For
you, Jordan, what's it like to have her out there at the same time? You guys can kind of switch off who's running point, who's taking the ball on the court. How does that dynamic work for you guys?
Man, first of all, JoJo, she was plus 40, 8 assists, 6 boards. Jeez, man, she's a dog. I say it all the time. She knows it. She's the backbone of this team. Really, like all her things that she does, it goes unnoticed, but it's so big for us, and like it gets everybody it gets everybody going. And I feel like I said this before, everybody, a successful team is going to be successful. You need a JoJo, you need a Jordan Walker. That's it. I'm sorry you can't have bars, but she's the dog. That's all it is.
All right, with that, we'll let our student athletes go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? We'll start with Maria and then Cora.
Same thing I was asking Jordan, the outline of her defense leading to suddenly boom, you're up 20 points. Just how much was she the architect of getting that third quarter just totally flipped?
Well, I think the flip started on the defensive end. When we got stops, we were able to push the ball in transition, and we were playing downhill, we were playing aggressive. It's all related. You take good shots, you score, you can get your defense set. You get stops, you can get your offense on a push. So obviously Jordan made some great plays. I thought she played with a lot of energy and focus there to start the second half.
Cora.
Kellie, you kind of asked about Jordan as a point guard. In the recent losses, she hasn't really been aggressive as a playmaker. How does that mindset kind of change the offense for you guys when she's being aggressive, not only, you know, all around offense, but being a playmaker as well?
This
yes,
Jordan?
Of course,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. It's funny that you said the stats lead to, I don't have the stats in front of me, but we are at our best when she is stuffing the stats. And it does not have to be points. Her effect on the game in every other column is so valuable to our team, whether that's assists, steals, or boards, block shots. I mean, she can do so many things, and our team, not just Jordan, but our team is at our best when she's doing that.
Casey.
Coach, just how proud are you of the defensive effort on the boards and keeping Vandy out of the paint as well?
Yeah, I think I'm really proud of our effort on the boards. I think their game plan was to get back in transition, so they weren't bringing the house to the offensive boards, but we did our job when we needed to, and that was a good thing. That was a good number. And then keeping them out of the paint, I thought in the first half they got comfortable offensively, and we were fouling. We were a step behind. I thought the second half we set the tone. they never really got in rhythm. Maybe a couple plays there in the fourth, but they just didn't get in rhythm. They are a really good offensive team when they're playing in rhythm, and we wanted to take that away. They missed some easy looks that they are very capable of making. I'd like to think that maybe it's because we made them work so hard, but you know, we'll just keep trying to build on that.
Chloe, right?
You know, it's Super Bowl Sunday, a few hours before the game, but fans, it didn't make a difference. How important is it to see the fans showing up wearing pink today?
You know what? The coaches are in warm-ups early, and they came to the locker room and they said, we have a great crowd out there. And again, not that you're excited, you come to expect it, but I don't take it for granted. I guarantee you I don't take it for granted. And I'm so proud of our fans. They got into it. They were loud, and I think they enjoyed it. I think, you know, you can enjoy watching this team, I think, and just all the dynamics going on.
Maria, and then Cora.
I mean, Jordan Walker is plus 40.
Plus 40.
Eye-popping. I don't know that I've
Plus
seen
40,
one that high.
yeah.
So if you can talk a little bit about her, and then Jillian, plus 25 in just 25 minutes. One thing about Jillian, Tess didn't make the three, but it was a good shot. She drove to the basket. Tess is wide open in the corner. I think Rakia cleaned it up. When Jillian's on the floor, it's like those three balls are open. I mean, just how you can talk about both of them.
Yeah, I think we know what lineups are going to give us good spacing. We know what lineups that, you know, we're going to be able to get paint touches or threes, you know, and obviously Jillian has the skill set to pass the ball and to be able to open up the floor. She's doing a great job of being physical and scoring in the paint. Worked hard on the boards today. I thought she really banged today. I liked her physicality, but we love where Jill's at right now and just how hard she's playing. Jordan Walker, you know, I think somebody said backbone, heart. I don't know. She's a big part of who we are. And again, I don't know. You don't see plus 40 very often. And that's how she was affecting the game on both ends of the court. 6 points and plus 40. I mean, that's, yeah, she's so valuable to our success.
Cora, and then Casey.
Jordan's shooting efficiency in the last stretch of games hasn't been great. You kind of probably her best game tonight, 8 of 13, and she talked about letting game come to her. How much do you see that in tonight making the difference of her shooting percentage, not forcing it, just letting it come to her? For sure. I think when she settles in, she's a player. She's so competitive. She wants it so bad, and she wants to do her part. You know, sometimes she can rush some things, but when she settles in and plays with confidence, it looks good. She's been practicing well. She got a lot of shots up yesterday after practice, extra, and it was her jumpers, and I thought she took so many of those. So just a short mid-range jumper, and they look so good today. She puts in the work. I mean, you know, she puts in the work, and I think that carries over.
Casey.
Coach, same thing I asked Jordan and Tess. I know you had mentioned that everyone does have a story that ties them into this game, and you had talked about the bigger meaning for the Lady Vols this year, but what about your own true personal connection with this game, with it being the pink game?
Yeah, I think the first one I would go to is my mom's sister, Sharon. She is a breast cancer survivor, and for years, she couldn't come this year, but for years would travel to our pink game, wherever I was coaching, because it was so meaningful to her. And she's a huge fan. I had one text message after the game already, and it was from her. So she's there, she watches, but you know, she's an inspiration, and obviously so many other women out there as well.
We'll conclude with Cora and then Maria.
Rakia and Jordan were really just working really well, and I know, you know, fouling kind of limited some of their minutes together, but how good was it to see them just really kind of kill it, you know, when they're on the court together? They're very unstoppable. How good was it to see that? Yeah, that's great. I thought our spacing was pretty good, and I'm really relating more back to the second half with those two, because they did play a lot more together in the second half, but I thought the spacing was good. I thought we were playing downhill, we were being aggressive. I thought we had them where we needed them within the offense, and you know,
they're such a handful to guard, each of them individually, and then when they're playing well and playing well together, it just makes it harder for the opponent.
Maria.
I asked Coach Shea Ralph about this too. The two daughters, Kylie and Mason, I think it's been, what, a quarter of a century?
Oh, thanks. Wow.
Welcome. And it just the full circle moment of seeing that. I mean, they locked arms and skipped to the Tennessee huddle before the game. They did their cheerleader routines. Just what did it mean to you to see those two little ones interacting?
Yeah, so before the game, I'm just blown away thinking about a quarter century earlier. If you had grabbed Shay and I and said, hey, listen, in 2023, you're going to be head coaches and your daughters are going to have cheerleading outfits on before your game playing together. I don't think you can make that up. I don't think that's a believable story to college kids, right? And family is important to me, and I know it's important to Shay as well, and to be able to have our children be a part of our lives, our work, because basketball and this job and this school and this program, it means so much to me, and I know the same for her. To have our children be a part of that is really something special. And then what a full circle moment that they're out there just loving life. They have, I don't know about Mason, but Kylie now has a new BFF. And, it also, I think, moments like that really put things in perspective. Today was probably a heavy day for that. And, we have a lot of cancer survivors. We have a lot of people to remember today also. So this is a big day for perspective. And at the same time, you see these two 4-year-olds, they don't have a care in the world. One of them's for Vanderbilt, one's from Tennessee, but it doesn't really matter to them. They're just having fun and living life, and what a really cool moment.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.